is the Action Coach Bolton Business Extra podcast. Every week we're going to be talking to a different business owner about their journey in business, the successes they've had, the mistakes they've made along the way, and what advice they've got for other business owners wherever you happen to be on your journey. This interview was recorded a little while ago while we were still in mid-pandemic. And today we're welcoming Catherine Spink from the absolutely fantastic Neon Creations. Welcome, Catherine.
Hi, you okay?
I'm very well. How are you?
Yes, I'm good, thank you.
Can I just say, I love that background. I know you're working from home part of the time at the moment, but that background is absolutely stunning.
Thank you. It's made up mostly of some of the signs that we have available for hire. So that's kind of in the workshop.
Right, brilliant. So today, Catherine, we're going to find out a little bit about you, about Neon Creations, and about the journey you've had since you went into business, and particularly over the last year or so, and what you're looking forward to more. So let's start with this question. How did you get started? What prompted you and your husband to get started in business for yourselves rather than working for somebody else?
So Tony was working for another neon sign company in the Manchester area. They're not actually around anymore. But when he first started working for them, he'd told them that he wanted to use some of his creativity, come up with some of his own ideas and have some input into what he was doing. But that kind of never really transpired, and he ended up just kind of doing what was quite repetitive work, to be honest. It wasn't really particularly exciting. He felt he wasn't really using his skill and creativity to the extent that he could. So I think it was one weekend, we'd had a couple of glasses of wine, and I just said to him, look, stop moaning about it. Let's do something about it. And that's kind of how Neon Creations was born, really, over a glass of wine and me fed up with him moaning.
Brilliant. And when was that? What year did you start Neon Creations?
So that was all the way back in 2005. So we actually celebrate our 16th birthday this July.
Wow. 16 years. That's good going for most SME businesses. If you look at the statistics, up to 80-90% of SME businesses have stopped trading in the first 10 years. So congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. We're proud of that. Yeah.
You've survived. Well done. And tell us about that journey then. How have things changed over the last sort of 15, 16 years or so for you?
Gosh, so when we first set out, we only ever really thought that it would be myself and Tony working in the business. We never really intended to employ anybody, because obviously that's got its own set of circumstances with it, and things that you need to tackle and learn when you employ people. But we got to the point where we were actually getting busier, and that we couldn't cope with the amount of work that we had the opportunity to do with just Tony. So we decided that we needed to take somebody on, basically, to help with that workload. And it's kind of just spiraled from there, really. Over the course of the years, we at one point, well, up until the middle of last year, we were actually 8 of us all together, which is the biggest that we've been. We've had to scale back on the number. We've made a couple of redundancies over the last 12 months, due to the impact of COVID. But yeah, there were 8 of us, and we were going great guns, really. We also outgrew the original premises that we started off in. So we're based in a big old mill building in Bolton. So originally we had like a smallish unit. It was kind of in the basement, and then in 2014. We decided we needed more room, basically, because we were still getting busier and we just hadn't got room to work in the workshop that we were in. So we managed to find another unit within the same building. We've been, in that bigger unit since.
Brilliant. And Stephen Covey, the late great Stephen Covey, always said, "Begin with the end in mind." Particularly, his book "7 Habits of Highly Effective People." It was the very number one. Begin with the end in mind. So, what's your vision for the business? What are you hoping to get out of the business over the next few years?
I think our vision really is that we want to be seen as the experts in neon signs. We want to be the go-to company that people come to if they've got a question about neon, if they want help with neon for a particular project. And we also want to educate people, because at the moment there's a lot of competition, like not direct competition, but there's a lot of companies that sell LED signs that are plastic and LED, and they're generally mass produced in China. A lot of the companies that sell them are actually marketing them as neon signs. This is causing a lot of confusion in the marketplace. So, one of the things that we want to focus on really over the next 12 months is actually educate people who might not know the difference, just by looking at something. So we kind of just, we want to be the company that people come to for their neon sign requirements, basically.
Brilliant. And I know you serve a very diverse sort of marketplace in terms of the types of customers that you deal with. I know you sell signs and you hire them, and you even take groups of people when circumstances allow, and let them experience how to make a neon sign. So tell us a little bit more about the markets that you serve and the kind of customers that you have now and the kind of customers that you're looking for in the future.
Okay. So I'd say predominantly we've been a 70-30% split for B2B and then B2C. And the B2B market has mainly been made up of companies within the hospitality sector and the events industry. So a lot of our clients have been bars, restaurants, hotels, corporate events, that type of thing. We also work with a lot of interior designers who might be working on domestic or commercial projects, workplaces. Obviously a lot of companies now are emphasizing what their workplace actually looks like, to give a really good feel to the people that go and work there. So workplace design is quite a big thing at the minute. And people who want neon in the house. So obviously, especially over lockdown, there's a lot of lucky people who've built themselves a home bar or a garden bar, that type of thing, or a man cave. People want neon in the kitchen or the bedroom or the lounge. And these days, really, neon kind of has moved away from being sort of traditional signage and advertising, and it's more really kind of an art form in a lot of circumstances. People might put a statement on the wall, a favourite saying, song lyrics, something like that. So people are using it sort of in an artistic way. So I think the type of clients that we're currently looking to attract really are probably obviously anybody that wants a neon sign, but if we're being focused about it, we're targeting like the interior design market, because obviously they cover such a diverse range of clients themselves as well.
Yeah, I think interior designers will go mad for the kind of stuff that you guys produce. I can see their eyes lighting up walking into your walking into your workshop. We can't ignore the fact that we've gone through a pandemic. You mentioned it a little bit earlier on. What's been the greatest impact of COVID-19 on your business?
So the biggest impact is definitely the sales figures. Basically, we're 45% down on our sales in a comparable 12-month period. That figure's been helped slightly if you sort of add in what we've had. We've been lucky to receive in government grants and furlough. We're kind of 33% down on our turnover, but that is a really big impact for a small business to take. Unfortunately, we've had to make a couple of members of staff redundant, because whilst the furlough scheme is there to be able to keep people on, being realistic and honest, it's going to be a while until their jobs are going to be required again. Even when the furlough scheme comes to an end, I can't see that it's kind of going to get back up to the same levels that we were at straight away. So, unfortunately, we made a couple of redundancies back in October last year.
Right. Okay. Obviously, if one of your major markets is the hospitality marketplace, then obviously that's going to have a big impact there.
Yeah.
Just going to stop there for a second, Catherine. There's some notifications going off in the background. Have you got something open on your computer that you can just shut down to stop the notifications?
How to turn them off?
Have you got Outlook open or something like that?
Yeah, shall I shut Outlook, actually? But
if you shut anything else down that you've got going on, then that will probably help.
does do it sometimes when it says my computer's trying to do an update or something like.
Yeah.
But that's not as often. But if I turn my volume down, I'm not going to be able to hear you, I don't think.
No, you won't. So if you just close your Outlook, just close anything else apart from Zoom, that will probably take care of most of them.
Right. That should be minimal.
Marvelous. Brilliant. I have to adjust mine all the time because I get some road noise going past here. So, because I don't speak as much, it sort of appears as a bar on the audio.
Okay.
So I can just blank that out. But if it's in the middle while you're talking and it goes off on your audio track, I can't do anything about it. So, all right, brilliant, lovely. We'll carry on. I'll just have a moment of silence. So, obviously the hospitality sector's had a massive impact on your revenue and your turnover. Yeah. Have you pivoted in some ways? Have you been doing other things instead of that to try and compensate?
We've not as such, not sort of consciously pivoted, but we have seen more of an increase in inquiries from actual people from the consumer point of view who are using neon in the home. Because I think really as well, when people were at home during lockdown and they're off work, they're looking at projects to work on, and a lot of people decided that it was a time they wanted to put a neon sign up. But no, we haven't really pivoted because I've not really been able to work out a way in which we can pivot. We purely make neon signs, so there's not really anything else we could manufacture as such. In terms of pivoting in that respect. And obviously in terms of attracting different customers, we're page one on Google anyway. The social media side of things we're pretty consistent on. So no, we haven't pivoted.
Okay. All right. So what other adjustments have you made? You mentioned obviously you've furloughed some staff. You've unfortunately had to make a couple of redundancies. Any other adjustments apart from that in order to make sure that you can survive and you're getting ready to thrive when things do pick up?
Yeah, so early last year I started undertaking a course to learn how to be good at doing Pinterest, basically, because obviously that's a good platform for us with our visual product. And as a result of doing that course and sort of getting more and more into it, I actually realised that our website wasn't as user-friendly as it could be. So when somebody lands on our website, they could basically look at some pretty pictures, read some information, and make an inquiry. There wasn't really anything else that they could do. So I decided that actually, we needed to kind of get with the times a little bit, get out of the dark ages. And we decided to move on to an e-commerce platform. So whilst most of what we do is custom made to order, we do have items that are available to buy. So for example, the signs in the background that we have to hire, people can actually purchase those if they want to. So we decided to go e-commerce for that side of things. And then we also created a design your own neon sign tool on the website. Wow. So that was another thing, if somebody sort of emailed us with an inquiry on a Friday night, they're going to have to wait till sort of Monday morning, Monday afternoon to get any kind of response on it. And, in this day and age, people want an answer now, they want to find things out now kind of thing. So the design tool basically it's fairly basic, but it basically allows people to type in the text that they want. They've got a choice of 13 different fonts, I think 16 different colours, and it kind of displays what it'll look like, tells them the approximate overall size that it will be, and it gives them an approximate cost as well. So that obviously sort of improves the customer experience as well, because they've got a bit more information at their fingertips there. And actually, since that's been implemented, we're probably getting about 500 hits per week on that actual page. So yeah,
and what's been the impact of that on your revenue? Have you seen a significant impact of orders coming through from that area?
Not directly, and because of the time that we're in at the minute as well, it's really kind of hard to sort of gauge what improvements these things are actually going to make to us as a business. I think we're going to kind of have to wait a little bit to find out what impact. I mean, certainly what it has done is it's cut out the time that we need to spend working out a quotation for people who've only got like a low budget. They might not actually be able to afford the custom made neon sign, and usually we would go through the process of working out a quote for them and that kind of thing. So in that respect, it's saving time in the sales office as well.
Great. So it's saving you time. It's your customers are getting a quicker response, or your prospects are getting a quicker response. They're able to see something straight away, which is all really important in terms of your customer experience, the customer journey. Yeah. Brilliant. Look, when I speak to really successful business owners, business leaders and entrepreneurs, and I ask them what makes them as successful as they are, one of the things that they always say is, well, I've made more mistakes than anybody else. And it's said that smart people learn from the mistakes and wise people learn from the mistakes of others. So I know we've got lots of wise business owners out there listening to this. So what mistakes have you made along the way since you started the business, not necessarily in the last year or so, but along the way? And how can other business owners and entrepreneurs learn from your experience?
So I think probably one of the biggest things, I don't know if you'd call it a mistake. I mean, obviously we're learning all the time and sort of refining procedures that we'd put in place. And, in the very early days, when we sent somebody a quotation, we'd probably send them one line of text, whereas now we'll tell them what the quotation includes, what it all means, kind of thing. So we've kind of evolved in that sense. But I don't know if this is a mistake as such, but when we first started out, we felt that we had to just take on any business that came our way. And to some extent, bigger companies out there try and bully you into bringing the price down, unreasonable demands basically that they're asking. So actually one of the things that we have learned over the course of the years that we've been around is that actually you can say no to people, or you can stand up to people. Just because you're a small business doesn't mean to say that your opinions don't count and your advice. At the end of the day, people come to us for our expertise in neon signs, and if they don't want to listen to what we're saying, then actually they're maybe not the right client for us. So yeah, we've learned to say no to business that we don't want to take, and sometimes maybe that's, I don't know, a bit foolish, I don't know, but you need to kind of trust your instincts, I think, and know when it's right for your business or not.
Yeah, I think that's really, really wise advice to give to every business owner. Know your value, know how much you're worth and how much your products and services are worth. And, people, when they're looking at competitors and they're looking at different people, understand the years of training and years of experience that have a really high value when you're looking at who to go and purchase from and who to buy from. Mm-hmm. Customer experience is also really important, and understanding some basics of negotiation as well. Get some training around negotiation and sales to help you to be able to say no and to say, how can I do that? And, all those great questions that you can ask in response to somebody who tries to knock you down on price all the time. That's really wise words, Catherine. If you could go back to the beginning. Sorry, go on. Carry on. Sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to say, and actually, an example of us not necessarily following our own advice over the last 12 months. Back in April last year, we were approached by, not directly, we were introduced to a very large online retailer of sort of homewares and furniture and that kind of thing, who basically wanted to put our neon signs on their website. And against my better judgment, I kind of went, I don't know. But obviously, because we were in the middle of the pandemic and we were quiet and everything, I thought, well, let's just give it a go. And they doubled our price. So as a consequence, we've not even sold anything on there, but we spent a lot of time developing, I think, 5 different products for them. I spent a lot of time putting information into the back end of their system and all that kind of thing, where actually I should have just gone, it's not going to work. And and trusted what we've always thought, really.
Yeah, and that's also very interesting for anybody who's negotiating with resellers of their products, understanding exactly what they're going to try and sell them for before you go through the whole process of development with them, because the market value of your products and what people are willing to pay for them.
Yeah.
And if somebody comes along and says, we'd love to sell loads of your products, but they're going to double the prices of them, then it limits the marketplace, because people are wise nowadays.
Yeah.
And will go and look on Google and look for alternatives,
Yeah, exactly.
Brilliant advice. So if you go back to the beginning of March last year, obviously we've had the pandemic, and just before lockdown began, which is just about a year ago now, 12 months ago.
Scary.
What thing would you have done sooner with hindsight?
That's a really tricky question. I'm not sure, because we weren't affected in terms of, like, I know kind of a lot of manufacturing businesses were affected in their supply chain in terms of being able to get hold of materials and that kind of thing. That didn't really affect us because our suppliers in the UK had good stocks and that type of thing. So there's nothing differently we would have done differently from that point of view. I think possibly from a personal point of view, I may have got one of the team back in the office sooner, rather than kept them on furlough for so long. I know that's kind of not pre-pandemic, that's kind of in the middle of it, but we kind of panicked really when it got to the start of lockdown. Obviously, you're a bit scared that you're going to lose your business and you kind of want to save as much money as you possibly can. So we furloughed everybody from the start. And then, for quite a few months, I was doing everything. I was doing, any quotes that we had and then any admin that came as a result of that. Whereas actually my time would have been better spent actually working on the business rather than working in the business. I would have been sort of 2 or 3 months ahead of where I am now, I think, if we would have said, look, do you know what, we'll just pay one member of staff to come and do run the sales office side of things. So I think that's probably something that I would have done differently.
Brilliant. Catherine, some really great insights there. Let's look forward a little bit. The light is definitely on at the end of the tunnel. It's getting brighter by the day. What are you most looking forward to post-lockdown?
So is that personally or in a business sense, or both?
Both, whatever is the most important to you.
Okay. So from a business point of view, I'm really looking forward to meeting people face to face again. The video calls and all this kind of thing, they're good, they serve a purpose, but I don't know, I feel that I can connect better to people face to face with them. And then leading on from that, we're really looking forward to launching the neon sign making workshops properly, because that's something that we've had quite a lot of interest in, people actually coming in and spending a bit of time and having a go at making neon signs, basically. So that's something that we're really keen to get going as soon as we possibly can. And then I think from a personal point of view, obviously I can't wait to go to the pub. But also, I've not seen my sister, my younger sister. She lives in Spain. I've not seen her for a long time. I can't wait to get out there and see her. And also, I've not seen my parents since December 2019. I've not seen my parents at all, other than on a video call. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to being able to see them as well.
Yeah, I think for me, I've just booked my jabs. So at the time of recording, we're in the middle of March. I've just booked my jabs for next weekend, I think it is, and for the start of June. So by the time we get to the 21st of June, when we can fully reopen, I'll be raring to go. I'll have had both my jabs. I'll be in that pub and I'll be hugging every single person I can find to hug. So I can't wait. It's going to be a tremendous summer, I think. Tell me what most inspires you today, Catherine.
Ooh, I don't really know. I mean, I'm inspired to do well in business because I want to sort of provide, help provide for my family. So obviously, I guess my kids inspire me. But I think what I've been inspired by, sort of during the lockdown, are these businesses that have sort of pivoted in what they do, because it's basically they've had to survive. So a friend of ours in London, and I think you can get it in this area as well, but somebody who I think runs a bar or a pub basically has converted the back of a van or something like that into a mobile pub or bar where you can actually like order them and they can park on your driveway and you can have a couple of pints out the back of the van. Brilliant. So that's kind of a really cool thing. But yeah, I think really all the business people, and particularly the small business people who've had to do things differently and come up with different ideas. All these small bars and restaurants, for example, that have managed to offer takeaway services, or they're doing like lunch boxes and afternoon teas and all that kind of thing. They're hats off to them.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many inspirational people out there, not only your frontline workers, but we've shared a lot of learnings amongst all of our clients, and we've seen all of our clients, almost bar none, are at the same level as they were last year or up on last year. And some are doing things completely differently to how they were doing it before. So, it's brilliant to look at those kind of stories for other business owners as well. But you can't get anything more inspirational than your kids.
No.
Absolutely not. What have you learned about yourself then, Catherine, over the last few months?
So I think I've learned how resilient I am, and how determined I am. I think, I like to work. So I've not, since we've had Neon Creations, I've not been in the position where I've never had anything to do anyway. But obviously, we've had to really work hard over the last 12 months to make improvements and that kind of thing. So actually, I've spent a lot of time learning over the last 12 months as well, about various different social media, about implementing email marketing. So yeah, I think my determination and resilience, and actually my ability to learn new things, because I'd not learned anything new for, probably 15 years or more actually. So it's actually been quite nice to know that I can still learn and I can still take things in.
Brilliant. Somebody said the only place that earn comes before learn is in the dictionary. And all of the business owners that we work with understand that in order to have more, in order to earn more, you've got to learn more. In order to have a better business, you've got to become a better business owner. That's brilliant. If you had one piece of advice for another business owner right now, what would that be?
It would probably be to trust your instincts and be prepared to work hard for what you want to achieve.
Okay, brilliant. Catherine, thank you very much. We're just coming up to the half hour. How can people learn more about you and your business? For those who are watching this on video, obviously your contact details are on the screen right now. But for those watching on audio, how do they get in contact with you?
Okay, so we've got a lovely, shiny new website, or fairly new website, and that's www.neoncreations.co.uk. You can email us at info@neoncreations.co.uk, or you can pick up the phone, 01204 655 866, and then we're on all the social media platforms as Neon Creations.
Brilliant. Definitely have a look at the website, everybody. Have a look at their social media. There's some fantastic artwork, some fantastic signs. I was blown away when I visited the workshop, and I can't wait to call in again. Maybe even make my own sign, but we're definitely going to have an action coach sign in our new office when we move in. Catherine, thank you very much. It's been a brilliant half hour.
Thank you.
Look forward to seeing you soon, and look forward to seeing great things from Neon Creations over the coming weeks and months.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So that's it for another edition of the Business Extra podcast. My name is Paul Lim from Action Coach Bolton. Thank you so much for listening, and don't forget to tune in for our next episode, where we'll be talking to another local business owner and about their reasons for getting into business in the first place and the ups and downs of their business journey. Take care, have a brilliant week, speak to you all soon.